myself, Neeti Tirki, research scholar, Center for Water Engineering and Management, along with my colleague Preeti Sagar, we feel privileged to welcome each one of you to the second and the last day of International Conference. Someone has rightly said, the best research you can do is to talk to people. It is an occasion like this we get the opportunity to talk, discuss and share our knowledge and understanding. We look forward to get an exposure about what the best of the brains think about this very dynamic issue of water and wastewater management and modeling. Moving on forward, I would like to call Mr. Amitabh Mukherjee from Ion Exchange to kindly come and share your topic.
हाँ सर,
कुछ लाइट जलवा दो रिकॉर्डिंग कर सकते हैं।
लाइट जलाओ।
वो तो
Hello. Yeah, good morning and thank you very much for asking me to take over the first session. First of all, I would like to say my greetings to the entire forum present here. My thanks to the Vice Chancellor sir. Yesterday was a very interactive program. Today I think things are yet to start. People are joining. So it will hit up another say hour's time. I would like to give my thanks to Dr. Ajay Singh sir and the esteemed forum available here, the various delegates from international as well as national institutions. I am Amitabh Mukherjee. I am representing Ion Exchange here. I am the regional manager at Kolkata and looking after the entire eastern operations. I am the only odd man out over here, what I find. I think a couple of persons has joined today. I am representing the industry in this forum. The discussions which I had seen, gone through and also discussed with people yesterday, whole day, most of them are studies, depth studies done by scholars, done by researchers, scientists, professors, readers at their own forums. But what I will be doing is that I will be just based on our 53 years of experience, Ion Exchange India, in this line of water treatment, recycle, reuse, I will try to bring out within the limited time allowed to me the application part of those technologies which we have done through our research and engineering at our own technology team. Our technology team based at Bombay and Hyderabad is represented by our president Mr. Ajay Popat sir, and I would also like to thank through this medium to him to give me this opportunity to take it ahead in this forum. This was the technical session 3. Yesterday, because of certain time constraints, we had to take it today. Policy instruments and institutions to manage water challenges. I will represent the institutions, one of the institutions to manage water challenges, and I will be speaking on zero liquid discharge. These are certain facts which most of the presentations yesterday was representing, so I will just go through. 1.2 billion worldwide lack safe drinking water today, and this is going to double by 2025. So 2025 is going to be a very crucial year for all of us, because most of the data which we are assimilating today and yesterday we have done, the baseline is, I have observed, is becoming to 2025 is becoming the baseline. 7 million die every year from water related disease. 450 million in 29 countries face acute water storage shortage, and 2.5 billion by 2050 would be facing the same problem. Global water demand doubles every 20 years. So this is another area where we should be thinking what to do after 20 years from now. Coming to the blue issues, scarcity and rising cost, drought, which is a natural thing, which we cannot plan, but we can always, which we cannot foresee, but we can plan to mitigate the disaster. Pollution is another aspect which we can surely control, reduce and control. Coming to the water vital resources, major components for most industrial processes. We cannot think of industrial processes happening without the water availability. Limiting factor for industrial developments, increasingly scarce, polluted and costly. And yesterday there was a depth discussion on this last point, that is stringent environmental legislation on consumption and discharge. Consumption is something which in India we are very much poor managing the consumption part. We are excessively consuming and discharging without even thinking the next consequence for coming years. Water challenges, the very message of this technical session, meeting basic needs, that is the drinking water, which is the primary need of each and every individual in this earth. Water for industries, dealing with pollution of water resources, dealing with encroachment of land, which is again creating hurdles, addressing issues of water related diseases, managing risk. These are the three-step approach. Step 1 is pollution prevention, minimization. Second is treatment in the direction of reuse. So any treatment which happens, it should happen not for just throwing up or discharging in the system, in the environment. It is to be done in the process of, with the mindset of reuse. And third is anything which cannot be prevented or reused, the last portion is that recycle. These are the suggested measures: public participation, better coordination among agencies, need for natural water policy and implementation, and application of that. One minute. See, India will be stressed by 2025, water stress by 2025. So, the sources of water, already it has been discussed yesterday. So, what are the emerging sources of water is treated industrial effluent, treated sewage, domestic waste and seawater. As ion exchange, we are already into all these three aspects of generating resources. But right now in this forum, I will be discussing only on the first part, that is treated industrial effluent. Recycling and ZLD. Raw water scarce, raw water cost high, strict discharge regulations, both in terms of quality and quantity, and zero discharge is now covered under ISO 14001. Industrial effluent recycled would be the topic of discussion. So you see this, I don't know whether it is clear to you. The first part I will just read it to you. The first part is the conventional treatment, in which we used to do the treatment, water requirement in for the water treatment plant, then the treated water for the process requirement, then from the process whatever effluent used to come out, we used to treat it partially and then discharge it into the either the drains or the water bodies or any other agricultural or other use which is not being monitored on the regulatory front. But right now the call of the hour is modern integrated solutions, source reduction. So raw water, again the process of water treatment, for the process requirement we are doing it. Then we come to the next stage. Before actually putting it through the effluent treatment process, we are recovering certain products. That is called waste minimization. The product recovery part, if you see, this one is the product recovery part and this one is the waste minimization. So this product recovery is from in a paper industry we see the waste which is having certain pulp in it. We put it through a filtration process and recover the pulp. We can be used as again a recycled as a byproduct of that same process, and the effluent which goes off is actually the waste is minimized. Now coming to this part, that is from that the wastewater we have recovered the product. Again that part is being put to the treatment process for final discharge. So now the water is being reused, but then water is to be reused. I will just show you case study 1. This is one of the projects in Jamnagar. Let me name it. It is Reliance Jamnagar, one of the biggest petrochemical complexes. You see the amount of water required for ZLD. ZLD here is zero liquid discharge, 2000 cubic meter per hour. It is 48 mld of water we are recycling for them. And you see the amount of effluent, the TDS to the range of 10,000 ppm, COD 1500, phenols 50 ppm, oil and grease 10,000 ppm, and cyanide 4 ppm. So this particular effluent is being treated by us to give a recovery of 95 to 99% through the process of ZLD. Here by ZLD what we mean is there can be different streams. The total 2000 cubic meter per hour is not coming from single stream, it is coming from various streams. So we have, as yesterday one of the panelists were speaking, that we need to decide whether to mix the effluent together and then treat, or decide on the quality of the effluent and treat it separately. So in this particular case we have divided into 3 or 4 effluent streams. One is the LTDS one. LTDS one is the low TDS, which can be treated with certain processes. Then the low TDS 2 with certain heavy metals or some process chemicals, effluents can be treated separately. Then OWS is oily waste sum. This is oily waste, we can treat it separately because the treatment process is entirely different. And last is the HTDS, which is high TDS to the tune of 10,000 ppm. So this process will be the most economical process. Instead of mixing it in a common sum and treating it for the steps will be much complex. So that is how we decide as industry parameters. I will take some more time. No, I will take, because this is something which I need to discuss. It is just nothing more. Case studies 2. It is one of the polyester yarns, again Reliance Silvassa. Why I am taking these case studies are because these are the complex ones which will make some difference in your understanding. See, the LTDS ATP, same what we told. This is a block diagram of the treatment scheme. Then the HTDS treatment, high TDS. This is the clarifier. You will find this is the clarifier. Then this is the sum. Then it is being pumped. This part is the. You will see this is the ultrafiltration system which takes out the silt density index beyond the ultrafiltration is less than 3, which is important. You will find this is the RO systems, reverse osmosis, the membrane system which is taking out the TDS. So RO system you will find here, since 10,000 ppm cannot be taken in one stream, we are putting it, the reject is again put through another RO system, and then the permit is collected in the permit tank. So that is how we select the schemes. Finally coming to the last part of recycle is the ZLD, which is actually giving you the final recovery. You see, this is called the multi-effect evaporator system, which is the new technology we have implemented to recover the last part of the water, which is now not treatable. It has TDS to the level of almost 45,000 to 50,000, and it can go up to around 1,20,000 also at certain times. Throwing that particular water would have been a disaster for the environment, so we are treating it out. The last end point of the outlet would be a small crystal salts which can be put in a gunny bag or can be disposed in a small space and landfill area. You don't need to have a bigger area for dumping that. These are some real photographs at site. These are the separators, evaporators, calandria and the condensate tanks. Case study 3, this is a IOCL plant at Panipat, ISRL, Indian Synthetic Rubbers. These are certain photographs of ISRL. You see the aeration tank, the flash mixing tank, the aeration tank, again certain mixers. This is the cooling tower which is reducing the temperature of the water effluent. These are RO systems, high pressure systems. You can see the RO tubes. Case study 4. This is the need of the hour. In March 2017, Supreme Court has come out with a directive that any power plant of any size, if it has a community within say 50 kilometers radius, it has to take water for their process requirement from the STP treated water. So that has been mandated by the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, and this is something which we have done in Nashik municipality. This we have done for the Indiabulls power plant, 1350 megawatt plant, 170 MLD partially treated STP water is being tertiary treated for requirement of the entire cooling tower system. And we are passing, this is a scheme, it's not very clear, but I will try to share this presentation with Dr. Sir, and whoever is interested can get in touch with Dr. Sir. See, we are passing it through Dynas disk. I will show you, this is the Dyna disk. This is the different filtration system. It is cloth filtration system, and it is an automatic backwashing system. Whenever the differential pressure rises between one side to other side, it automatically backwashes and cleans the cloths. So this is a new technology which we have implemented here, and followed by the Dyna sand. Dyna sand, these are steel structures. Even this can be made in concrete structures. This sand, Dyna sand towers, this consists of normal filtration sands, in which the compressed air is pumped out and the recycled water is pumped. So the water gets filtered, and it is a continuous non-stopping process. The availability of such systems are continuous 24/7. These are the installations, actual real-life installations. Dyna-Oxy modules. This is the electrical panels, the dosing systems, then the clarifier, the compressor systems. Benefits of recycle and ZLD: assured availability of water for process, low dependency on fresh water supply, which is also a mandate of the government, reduced requirement of fresh water resulting in savings, consistent quality is maintained because you are controlling the process of the water supply, compliance with effluent discharge norms, which is must to be followed, and quick payback period. The moment you recycle your water, the payback is faster. So this is the final slide. Required an unified approach. State, central government, one of the stakeholders, the industries, builders and architectural communities, municipalities, PCBs, pollution control boards, water treatment companies, the citizen action group. What yesterday also Babel sir was telling, that until unless there is a unified approach from the community also, these discussions will go waste. It will just remain to the souvenirs and the documents which we generate from here. And the industry associations like CIIs and industries chambers of commerce, this should also play a role in framing certain guidelines in which industries also come into a local forum and participate into these forums. Thank you very much for listening to me. In a short time, whatever I have tried to share, I hope it will be of helpful to you. Thank you.
Now, anybody who want to ask any question?
Yeah. Mr. Amitabh, what is your the average cost of treatment of per cubic meter of water for general use? It will vary from plant to plant, and what will be the cost for the manufacturer as a whole if you take this one?
No, what you asked in the first question was is very right. There was a slide on that, but I did not show it because of the time constraint. I have hidden that. It is 11 rupees per cubic meter.
11 rupees per
treated water. Whereas the water which you take from the municipalities or the river bodies, whenever you take water from fresh water from river, you have to pay to the authorities. So that is, we have analyzed, it is coming to around 35 rupees per cubic meter. Whereas the treated water cycle, in this particular case of recycle ZLD, this Indiabulls, it is 11 rupees per cubic meter, which comes down to hardly 1.1 rupee paise per liter, which is very cheap.
And have you some idea that as a average cost of production, how much it will be? Is it 0.1%, 1% or something? That will vary from product to product.
It depends because this Indiabulls order it is to the tune of almost 60 crores. But
it depends on the power plant because it is 1350 megawatt power plant. So when you compare with the cost of the recycle and the power plant, it will be meager.
Yeah.
But if you put the same system in an industry like textile or some paper, the cost would be much high.
Yeah.
So that's why the industry around the Ganges range, those industries are not having such big turnovers.
Yeah,
So whenever we talk about certain ZLD system, they start shivering
Yeah.
at certain times because of the cost involved. And apart from the cost, which is capex, there is an opex involved.
Yeah, yes.
The opex of a ZLD is the evaporator. You have to have a constant boiler running because you have to have steam for that particular application. Even if we try to put the ME, that multi-effect evaporator, as small as possible, but there is restriction on the stoichiometry combination of water also. I cannot reduce the water, extract water, fresh good water to the limit beyond solubility of So saturation is also a part. So what is happening is a ME of 100 cubic meter per day is costing around more than 2.5 to 3 crores. This is a rough estimate I am telling, because again metallurgy, whenever you go for a different metallurgy, the cost will increase. But such high concentration of salinity, TDS, that metallurgy has to be titanium or say super stainless steel, duplex stainless steel. So cost is, that's why the equipment cost is very high. That particular thing needs expertise. Right now there are many players who tell that we can give this particular product, last part, because the remaining part, tertiary treatment, primary, secondary and tertiary treatment part is nothing rocket science. Anyone can do. A person who has done all the way is a better placed, but a person coming new also can do. But the last part, which is the ZLD part, it is an expert requirement of, one is the metallurgy, one is the stoichiometry understanding and the chemical understanding. That is the place where Ion Exchange as an organization is having edge over others. Because evaporators has been manufactured, it is nothing a new technology. Evaporators are used in sugar industry, are still used in sugar industry, milk industry, in brine industry, like distilleries. They distill through this process, they do sugar cubes through this process, milk powder through this process. But evaporators application in ZLD, in sewage, where the TDS level goes up to 40,000, 50,000, 100, 1 lakh, it's something which is not imaginable by those manufacturers, because they would have been giving normal stainless steel, 316. But we in house also, we don't keep salt in a sugar bowl or sugar can. We keep it either in a glass bowl or glass can or in a plastic can. So that simple scientific connection even a house lady has. So that connection has to be there. That is where we as Ion Exchange have the edge in this particular technology. And if you, sir, if you feel that we can be discussing more on this, you have my card. You can communicate with me, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very
Good morning, sir. I am Sohit Raj, third year student of Water Engineering and Management.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask you a question, sir. So you talking about that India have a water stress till 2025, and also our future India is deprived from the water. But according to my sir, the annual rainfall of India is approximately 125 centimeter. And
Average.
yes, average rainfall I am talking about. So, but if we conserve the rainwater and manage that, then we can tackle the problems of water crisis in our country. So why our country is not looking in to tackle this, to manage and conserve the water?
That is what was one slide was saying, which was written in red, but I did not read it out. Because the need of the hour is how to manage and reduce. Manage is coming under that particular aspect. If we feel that we have to manage, then we can start with one is rainwater harvesting, one is recycling within the system. Even in societies also, if you feel, most of the people, I have seen typical feeling. These people, one person is coming like this, holding a plastic bag. You never know whether it is a market equipment or something like that. He will come, see a water body, waste area, drop it and go home. Have you not seen this? Yeah. If this type of attitude continues in the citizen, and most of us, even you take me that I have seen that, but I have not observed it because I am going on my office. If I start interacting and arguing or pointing out that fault, my office will get delayed, my boss will push me. So this type of feeling has to be developed. That was Mr. Atul Singh was speaking yesterday on that line. That social awareness has to be very much there, and these are the forums where social awareness can start coming up. See, WhatsApp messages, social network, we say so many things, and most of the things are even cooked up fake documents. But then these type of things never come, and we don't even pass on if at all such messages come. So what you have thought is a very right thing, but then unless people like you at this forum start speaking, I think this message cannot go. We as industry people, we are doing it. I have just shown you 4 case studies, whereas we have done similar case studies. Almost 17 numbers ZLDs we have installed in India. We are working on almost 10 ZLDs. Even we are speaking to many people. But then that is industry level, community level. But you as small society level, college level, institution level, you people are the ambassadors for such messages. So I would request rather that it is possible.
But Indian government can also take a considerable step for managing
No,
the.
don't leave it to government, because government has given a lot of fundamental rights and fundamental
Yes.
duties are also there.
Yes.
We have to check.
Right to, according to Article 21, right to life, right to water is something considered in the right to life.
Responsibility. ये जो आपने देखा ना, ये जाके ऐसे करके फेंक के चला गया, ये क्या मेंटेलिटी है आप बताओ? और वो पड़ा, वो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सिर्फ चलते फेंक रहा है, वो कार से भी फेंकता है, वो हुंडई सोनाटा से भी बैठ के फेंकता है. But it is not that he is not a qualified person or a high earning person, but the mindset has gone, because he has seen his father doing it, he has seen his dadaji doing it. So that type of attitude has carried. That is a bigger problem for us. These forums are doing very good thing for the society, but then you have to carry it forward. Say today you don't, once we close this program in the evening, you people don't stop it here. You can also take out some time of your total 365 days, not only in doing research and studies, you can also take it up with, and we are there always, we are there to support.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I just want to make a comment. You see, you are talking about the forest. Have you implemented in your house? Yes. Have you implemented in your house?
Hello.
You come to my house, I will show you. Because people are saying that complete jungle has been developed in the city and everything. But the sky is open. Whatever water is falling on the roof, you just divert the pipe into a recharge pit. It will take only 5 to 10 feet, 3.1 meter diameter, and that will going to recharge the groundwater system, and you will prevent the flooding on the road. Waterlogging in the city like Hyderabad, Bombay, you guarantee all